Joining us now to review some of the headlines of today's newspapers from around the world is Arise News analyst Emmanuel Efini. Great Malabite, good morning.
Good morning, Ruben. Good morning, Rufai.
Bless you, sir.
Yes, we'll start the review with this day, Nigeria's newspaper of record. The lead story, Uzodinma, Ododo, win Imo, Kogi, Diri leads in Bayelsa. Opposition candidates call for cancellation of elections. Yaga Africa alleges INEC uploaded results of polling units where elections didn't hold. Hiriwa exercise viciously rigged, full of violence. Advises losers not to waste money challenging results. Of course, the off-season election in Imo, Kogi, and Bayelsa, which took place on Saturday. Now, the Guardian newspaper also reporting this story. Yes, Uzodinma re-elected, Ododo wins in Kogi as Diri leads in Bayelsa. Of course, the figures as declared by INEC, there in the front page of the Guardian newspaper, and of course, that of Bayelsa still not fully announced. Of course, the result of 6 local government councils out of 8 in Bayelsa shows that the PDP's Diri has polled 130,009 votes thus far, while the APC's Timmy Silva has polled 74,255. But 2 local governments are still outstanding, and perhaps that's where it gets complicated when you talk about Brass, Southern Niger, and all the confusion and reports of manipulation that is coming from that zone, to the extent that even journalists cannot access that area for fear of their lives, as our correspondent, Ovietimi George, confirmed a short while ago. Now, the SWAT team that had been operating in that area before the election and allegedly assisting thugs to chase people out of their own locality. In all the talk by the Inspector General of Police to ensure safe environment for voting, nothing was mentioned of the SWAT team, which was said to have come from Abuja. And right now, the situation in those local government, 2 of them still very dicey. But not unexpectedly, the results declared in Kogi and Imo, the opposing parties are objecting, they are rejecting, and they are complaining about the outcome as not being the wish of the people. But INEC has declared Hope Uzodinma the winner in Imo State, and Ododo, the handpick of the incumbent Yaya Bello, as the winners in Kogi State also. Now it brings us to the problem of our elections and whether indeed the security agencies lived up to their billing and whether INEC has also lived up to its billing. Because a situation where results being uploaded in units where election did not take place, of course, that cannot be done without the connivance of INEC officials. Well, we seem to have this problem in our hands, where our elections will always have this credibility question mark, as it were. Now, the Vanguard newspaper also reporting this story of circle governorship elections. Uzodinma Ododo win in Imo, Kogi, Bayelsa ready today. Now, if we look at other stories there, now above the masthead, there's a story from Edo to become first world economy of Baseki, at making that statement at the and Igodalo, Dangote, others who also were at that Edo Economic Summit that took place over the weekend. Now, the other story there, the annual conference of the Nigerian Guild of Editors. Amuka Oshoba Obagbena leads 300 editors to Uyo, where the editors conference will be taking place this week. And of course, the economy and the state of the nation will be focus of that conference as editors and experts look at the situation in our country. Amuka Oshoba Obagbena leads 300 editors to Uyo, the Akwa Ibom state capital. Of course, Governor Eno will be the chief host in that annual conference of Nigerian Guild of Editors. Now, the Daily Trust newspaper. Yes, I just look at the story below the masthead. I leave the familiar lead story. Nigerian lawmakers most ridiculed, says Senate President Godswill Akpabio, where Nigerian legislators, they come under the fire because of actions they take and some of the actions they don't take. But Godswill Akpabio, the Senate President, is saying that perhaps Nigerians are too hard on the National Assembly members. And he recalled that it was the National Assembly members that stopped the attempt for a lifetime president in the year 2007. And he's saying that Nigerians should give credit to their legislators. And I'm sure many Nigerians will tell Senator Akpabio, well, we still expect more from our senators and our House of Representative members in terms of making life more meaningful for the people with legislation and checking the executive carrying out oversight functions instead of just passing any bill in the manner of carry go. Anything that comes from the presidency will go. Well, we'll keep on looking at the work of our legislators and we'll criticize them if we have to do that. And Nigerians expect so much from our legislators. Now, the New Telegraph newspaper, the lead story, APC's Uzodinma Ododo win Imo Kogi. INEC continues Bayelsa collation today. The story below the photograph, passengers stranded as plane gets trapped at Abuja airport. Yes, a plane overskied the runway and got stuck yesterday, which led to the closure of that runway and the airport until that has been cleared from the runway. And I hope that will have been done by now so that the airport can resume full operations and passengers traveling will not have to suffer. Now, the Nation newspaper, of course, the familiar lead story. I will just look at the story beside the photograph. Inflation rises on soaring food, energy prices. Now, the photograph there, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, yes, apart from his economic diplomacy that has took him to Saudi Arabia, is also performing religious obligation. So the photograph, the front page of the Nation newspaper, showing President Bola Ahmed Tinubu and others performing the lesser Hajj. Now, the Nigerian Tribune newspaper, I'll leave the lead story and look at the story above the masthead. New Supreme Court justices emerged this week. FJSC to nominate to NJC. So, yes, the Supreme Court lean in number of justices. And we just hope that exercise will come through so that we have the required number of justices and the Supreme Court, as the workload at that level of justice delivery is too heavy for 10 justices to handle as we speak. The other story above the masthead of the Nigerian Tribune newspaper, Edo South changes political calculation, dwells on numerical strength. Well, I hope Edo South politicians will not try to twist things, because the clamor in Edo State is that Edo Central, where the Esans are the main group, should produce the next governor of Edo State. Of course, that was why Philip Shuaibu seemed to have ran into trouble because he is from Edo North. So if anybody is talking of the calculation of numbers of Edo South, then somebody should be apologizing to Philip Schwaibu over his ambition to be the next governor also. Now, if we look at the Abuja Inquirer newspaper, FCDA blames natives, talking about Abuja's slum expansion, 11,705 slums removed in 2023, one speedy resettlement of indigents. Of course, the expansion of slums, because the indigents of Abuja were not properly resettled and they were not integrated into the master plan of Abuja. So they must live somewhere and they'll be creating a lot of slums. Now, the photograph on the front page of the Abuja Inquirer, if you put it there, yes, Festus Keyamo being received by the OVA of Uwe, yes, Dr. Emmanuel Sedeso Abe the First, yes, the OVA of Uwe Kingdom. Uwe Kingdom is where you have the popular Osubi Airport. I'm sure they expect the Minister of Aerospace and Aviation to also uplift that airport. Now, the foreign newspapers quickly. The Times of London arrest anti-Semitic Yobs. Now, Sunak tells Met. Of course, the Prime Minister considers new laws to ban provocative chants in crackdown on protests. That's talking about the Times of London newspaper. Now, the other newspaper there, the Independent newspaper, exclusive, the Independent calls it Thatcher's ad agency turns on cruel Tories and backstammer. Chief of Sachi and Sachi, yes, the agency, his name Richard Huntington, is saying that UK needs saving from 5 more years of stagnation, cruelty of the Tories. Ruben and Rufai.
Well, thank you very much, Emmanuel Efeni. We understand that our guests are already waiting at the Abuja studio.